Sure, anybody can destroy the world with things like nuclear weapons, but an army of antibiotics-resistant superviruses, so tiny they're invisible to the naked eye? Now that's amazing! This week, how to destroy civilization with nanotechnology. Now we know what you're thinking. Sounds like a pretty big job. But if you follow our simple step-by-step instructions, you'll be annihilating civilization in no time. Before we get started though, there are a few things you're going to need. Access to an advanced research facility. Vast reserves of cash.
Where does this kid go to school? I got $500 for that information.
I'll come for your kids. I will come for your kids.
If you're hating, hate harder.
Has it hurt you financially being a hater?
My money's overseas stashed.
Finally, a soul full of evil.
When we shoot, we no miss like John Stark. When we walk, fire spark, we left them with chalk. Infrared, fire forehead and no religion mark. Brrr. We left them stop. The last boy when this me never get chance. We talking friend gun paraplegic, no get chance to walk. And if them a try to free me, no get chance to stop. Big dog there, they bring me down, so them a guess. Me read the fans them, them a friends. Yeah, it's the threat. I respect, but you know, you don't play guitar. Head arrest, what we say, head arrest. Head arrest.
So you're on the right track, but it's gonna take more than a dead cat and a ridiculous haircut to make you into a grade A sociopath. Why don't you give it about 20 years?
Coming on YouTube because I need people to know what's going on with me, and I need for other people out there to know that you're not alone and that you're not going crazy and that your family is turning on you and that the people you love will turn on you. Everyone you know will turn on you. I've been the victim of it. I'm a targeted individual for 2 years and thought I was going crazy. I begged my friends. I didn't understand why people were turning on me. I've aged about 20 years. I have no home to go to. I have no hope in humanity. I have no friends, no family. Everybody says I'm crazy or I'm on drugs, and they count on that. They count on that to say you're mentally ill, to have you committed or incarcerated. They count on everyone turning on you so you'll commit suicide. I'm telling you, open a Bible and read scripture and read as much God as you can read, because it will come down to it when you are worried for your life and or being tortured, physically tortured. I have been there, and the only person I had was God, and He got me through it. I thought I was going to die many times and wanted to almost. And even when I gave up on God, He's all I got. He didn't give up on me. I'm alive for a reason, and it's just getting started. I'm telling you, they need to bring it on, because I'm not fighting. God's fighting. I'm done. Okay, so if you are alone and you don't know what's going on with you, and you don't have God, or you don't know what to do, or you don't know if you're going crazy, my email address is lsills, SILLES, LSILLS12004 at yahoo.com, and contact me, because I could use this support. I know what it feels like. I read a lot of targeted individual sites, and nobody gives me a number or a site to get some hope. So here I am. This is my email, lsills12004 at yahoo. Call me, we'll help each other. I need you like you guys need me. I know you need me. I know, but more than anything, open that Bible because you will need it. I promise you, you will. They're evil. Your family will turn on you. The one you love, if you're second guessing, he will. The one you trust the most is your weakness, and they're gonna find it, and they're gonna use it. Don't reveal anything to them. Don't reveal anything, any fear, nothing. They want you destroyed. They want you dead. And the only thing that's gonna save you is to open your mouth and reveal it. Say what's going on with you. Call for God first. Call for God when you are in the first thing. When you are in your deepest fear, you will call for him, and he'll get you through that because evil cannot overcome good. They can't win this. Who would? I would lose my faith in God if they did. L. Sills, 2004 at Yahoo.
Hi. Welcome to another episode of the Targeted Individual Program. So, I haven't done a video in a while because I've been pretty busy, but the psychological attacks have been, I guess, upgraded, I would say, or they've become more intense. That's the right word. They've become more intense.
Hi, my name is Marsha Green, and I've been a targeted individual since mid-August 2012. I was born in Jamaica, where I lived for the first 5 years of my life. And then I moved to Canada, where I went to a French immersion school, Pleasant Park Public School in Ontario, Ottawa, Ontario, where I lived for 3 years. I then moved to the United States, where I lived up until the age of 18. I attended middle and high school in the States. I went to Copper Beach Middle School in Mohegan Lake, New York, and then went to high school in Saddle River, New Jersey at Saddle River Day School, which is a private college prep school. I then decided that I wanted to study in Paris, since I had always continued to learn French throughout my academic career, and had a desire to go and explore the world and basically live outside of the States. I wanted to see what the world had to offer. And so I went and did a bachelor's degree at the American University of Paris, where I lived for 5.5 years. After living in Paris, I moved to Italy, where I worked for a year as an administrative trainee in the economics department of the European University Institute in Florence, Italy. Being in this highly academic doctoral program environment, I obviously interacted with very ambitious, very intelligent people. And this encouraged me to continue to further my education, and I decided to apply to Pompeu Fabra University in Barcelona, where I would then do my master's degree. I was accepted and went to live in Barcelona, Spain, where I completed a first master's degree in international business administration at Pompeu Fabra University.
My name is Marina Meadows. My mother's name is Marina Gonzalez. And everywhere we go, they know who we are because in Kendall Medical Regional Center, my mother's denture was broken in purpose. So everybody can recognize us everywhere we go. They can stalk us. They can harm us emotionally. They can harm us mentally, and this is now affecting our health, so it is physical as well. Please, I can't take this anymore. They're killing us all. They're killing my whole family. This is my only chance, if I get out there, to save my sons, my 3 sons, and my mother and myself. Please, I have called the police many times. I put there my Facebook page so you can read everything about what's going on with our family. But most of all I want is some medical help for all my family and protection, because all those people that have exposed their corruption and their fraud have been after us, abusing us mentally, emotionally, and physically for the last 10 years. They have kept me isolated. My phone didn't work. My internet didn't work. This phone I had to buy somewhere else. Now trying to hope that my video will be seen somewhere, because I have no internet as well. So please, if anybody sees this out there, please help my family. They're trying to kill us all, to shut us up, so we don't expose their corruption. These are corrupt people. This, I say, retaliation from the judges from the Miami Civil Court, because I went to protest and I showed them that they were corrupt. For 2 months I was sitting in the Miami Civil Court, and since then everyone has been trying to do harm to my whole family. Since my son, the youngest was 10 years old. Please read my Facebook page, and if anybody can do anything for my family, please help us. We really need medical help immediately, and we really need protection from all these monsters. They're monster, diabolic monster, trying to hurt and kill us all so we don't expose their criminal deeds. Thank you very much, and help us, please.
Hi, my name is Rachel Orban, and I am an organized stalking target. I'm coming to you from Boston, Massachusetts, my hometown, and I'm sorry to be coming to you looking so haggard and ungroomed and just terrible and tired and bloated. That this is what being targeted does to you, and this is the result of having to fight every day, all the time, for your life and your sanity, and nobody cares, or nobody understands, or they're told to not believe you and you're crazy. This is what happens. You get old, you get bloated, you get tired. I was a beautiful girl when this whole thing started, and now, well, you see. But I've survived, so I feel an obligation to leave a record of events. Even if it doesn't save my life, it will help other people. And that's all I can do. First of all, people that are targeted individuals, most of them are not crazy. They are articulate, usually highly intelligent individuals. They're articulate and they don't have disordered minds. They don't show any of the signs of true insanity. What's being done to them is called gaslighting. It's a classic way that criminals drive somebody nuts and then cover it up and tell the public or whoever that the person is just nuts. And by the time they're done with the person with the gang stalking campaign, they'll be half nuts and worn out and tired and scared and hyper-vigilant. So they look crazy. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know? One of the things I've noticed is they use a lot of, when you're a targeted individual, when you're a victim of organized stalking, they use a lot of really covert ops type moves. I mean, they love to do foreshadowing. You know, they'll tell people stuff about the target and then push the target into it. You may not have been crazy when this started, but they'll make you nuts. You know, that kind of thing.
It's with a heavy heart that I am in front of you now to make this video. Kind of my last words. It's really unfortunate that I had to make this video. See, I am a victim of covert harassment and electronic harassment and gang stalking. I'm what's called a targeted individual. There are thousands of targeted individuals in the United States of America. And we unfortunately are subjected to some pretty heinous treatment, which I'll detail in this video. You can find out more about what a targeted individual is simply by Googling or YouTubing the words targeted individual or gang stalking, and you'll see the videos and postings and articles and stuff like that about what a targeted individual is. And on YouTube, you'll actually hear the stories of other targeted individuals, the videos that they posted about what their experiences are. They won't be that different from what you hear from me today. I think mine might be a little bit more comprehensive in explaining exactly what a targeted individual is and what a targeted individual experiences on a day-to-day basis. So I'll just go straight to it. Talking about gang stalking in general, which is what a targeted individual experiences. The goal of gang stalking is literally to drive a targeted individual crazy. It's a very comprehensive program, and sadly it's a government program. Its roots are in programs known as MK Ultra and COINTEL Pro, which should have been eliminated, but unfortunately they're still around. They're not only still around, but they're actually far more comprehensive and more detailed than they were even when those programs were popular. But like I said, the goal is literally to isolate the person, make them destitute and financially unstable to the point where they can't take care of themselves. Many targeted individuals live in homeless shelters and on the street. And they employ various tactics to accomplish their goal of destroying targeted individuals. The most common experience that you'll hear is, and why the term gang stalking comes about, is because they'll have people follow you around whenever you go into public places, like if you're driving.
That's what I'm all about, raising awareness about American citizens being used as targets in military-directed energy weapon and no-touch torture programs. You know, pretty much something that a lot of people don't know about, but they need to know about it. I've interviewed CIA engineer Dr. Robert Duncan, who's admitting that this atrocity is being committed against American citizens. Barry Trower, who's a British naval intelligence agent and microwave expert, he's also admitting that this technology that can force citizens to hear the voice of someone who's accessing a computer that's linked up to satellites and radio towers that are emitting extreme low frequency waves and microwaves, stimulating the cochlear in your inner ear. That's how you hear the voice of someone who you can't see or touch. And that's a problem. You know, it's great for military communication, but it's very, very, it's wrong that American citizens are being tortured. And it just so happens that I published my book a month before Aaron Alexis committed the Navy Yard shooting. You know, that's very unfortunate. A young man should not have to go murder 12 people because he's being tortured and can't get relief. You know, and it was Myron May, another young black successful trial attorney, abruptly quit his job. No one knows why. You know, he did a whole 2.5-hour YouTube video about how he's been attacked with direct energy weapons with the Florida State and shot 3 people. I do not condone the violence. I went down to Florida State trying to raise awareness about the atrocity. I actually Skyped in Dr. Robert Duncan, who's admitting that these voice of God weapons that he's helped with research and development has and is being used against American citizens. So, you know, the same attention that you guys are giving to follow me around, I would like for you to, kind of put an investigation into this, because I can't do it myself. All I can do is raise awareness to the American people about what's happening.
These other people that want to come talk to you, they're a little above our pay grade, so they can help you out a bit more. Yeah. You know, so just stand by. They should be here shortly. They were right down the street, so. Oh. You can tell them your story and hopefully get the word out a little bit more.
Yes, that's what that is why I am here. This is crazy. Most of you will be nervous about this, but I don't, because I haven't did anything wrong. So I'm just here. And I kind of expected this outcome from anyone in the government to try to put a stop or deter me from telling the truth. But that will not happen. You know why? Because they've already taken everything from me. credible information, reliable sources. We'll see what happens from here.
You're leaving tomorrow? Going to New York?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly tomorrow. I'm just waiting to get some more money, man. You know, I haven't been able to do anything since this is,
Do you have a source of income?
No, my book. I can't work. It seems like every time I get a job, they begin harassing and torturing to the point of where I can't work.
You get checks for your book sales and stuff like that?
No, I don't get checks. You can check my what do you call it? My PayPal. That's why I got a PayPal credit card right now.
Per book, or is it?
Hell yeah, per book. No, per book. Shit, I gotta sell. Hey, I gotta sell per book. Every now and then I go watch cars to try to earn some money, man. You pay $50 a day. It's not much.
The payments were all at once.
No. I have to order books and then I have to, sell them at $20 each just to make a $7 profit. Not bad.
You don't do the online books?
I do not want my books to be pirated.
That's probably smart.
In order for you to
hard copies. Yeah,
that's right. Yep. Well, soft copies is what they call them. I'm just saying. Hey, yeah, okay. I'm just saying. Hey, that's what they call them. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see.
You sell $7?
Let me get this. What did you say?
You sell $7 a piece, or how much?
No, actually I sell them for $20 each and get a $7 profit. Yep. And then I also give people a free bracelet. These free awareness bracelets. Directed energy weaponry terrorism. It's not something that most people know about. I'm doing my best. In the future, your kids, may be affected by this. Other countries are developing this technology. Hackers are hacking into anything nowadays. It's very dangerous. And the fact that it mimics the effects of it. If you try to tell someone, their first thought is schizophrenia. Just because as soon as you say I'm hearing the voice of someone talking to me, that's a horrible misconception. No one in the medical community is accepting that these technologies are real. So when someone like Aaron Alexis or Myron May, goes into one of these facilities, especially the VA office, there should be some kind of room that's protected from directed energy weaponry attacks. Most mentally ill people will not ever try to explain that they're being attacked with directed energy weapons. They will only say I'm hearing voices. It takes someone
because they feel like they're being discriminated more if they tell them about that, or
no. If you
just don't know they have that.
No. It's not an implant. This technology
frequency, right?
Exactly.
This is like a dog whistle.
Exactly. The people of the Secret Service are intelligent. I don't care what you guys say. Some of these people actually know what is going on. You understand? Yeah. But no, though, that's exactly what it is. So, and the fact that you can see these frequencies attacking the human body, it's impossible for anyone to know that you're really, affected by this. So if the medical community of schizophrenia, it's only something that they learn in books.
So help me understand.
I'm trying.
How does it affect you but doesn't affect me? What's different?
Well, it's just like your GPS or your radio. If you cut your radio on and I cut my radio on, it's only tuned into the right frequency, right?
That's just by chance biological.
No. It's pinpointed directly at you. That's why it's called targeted. You are a target, just like this particular space that you're occupying. I cannot occupy the space that you're in.
Yeah.
Okay, and the defense missile system, the ballistics grid, just like GPS, can pinpoint exactly where you are and who you are. That's how the technology works. So you get affected, I don't, he doesn't, and you try to tell us that you're hearing the voice of someone talking to you, and we're going, dude, you're schizophrenic. And then as soon as you say it's the military, next thing is you're delusional. That is the next thing. So it's very difficult for this technology to be exposed because of how it's able to hide. But Vandenberg Air Force Base, they have these directed energy weapon satellites. That's what they're called. You do research on it, you find that Kirkland Air Force Base in New Mexico has these directed energy weapon satellites. And there are too many people who are complaining about this and trying to articulate this for to go on without being remain unnoticed. And these motives are so uncommon, man. I've never heard anyone in the history of any mass shooting, anything, say that I am a victim of directed energy weaponry attacks. And most people laugh. Most people in law enforcement, they laugh at them. You know, medical community, they laugh. Oh, these people crazy, man. They're thinking that the military is targeting them. Well, hell, the NSA, people would have never thought that the NSA was spying on American citizens, okay? Now, these are the same people, you know, the same type of people who have access to these technologies. So who's overseeing what they're doing to American citizens? And how do they know these technologies are working? Who are they practicing these things on? And why would a CIA engineer admit that citizens are being tortured with technology he's helped develop if they aren't?
Here's the gentleman who wants to talk to you.
Hey there, I'm Jim with Mobile Crisis, and we're at the Department of Behavioral Health here in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And you understand you came here and you're seeking national attention through mass shootings? Is that right?
No, you're absolutely wrong. I'm actually seeking national attention to raise awareness about American citizens being tortured with directed energy weapons.
What sort of weapons are those?
Directed energy weapons are satellites and radio towers that are able to emit microwave frequencies and extreme low frequency waves. If they stimulate parts of the anatomy, they can cause you to hear the person who's accessing these weapons. If they stimulate your limbic system, they can change their emotions. I personally interviewed CIA engineer Dr. Robert Duncan, who's helping research and development of these technologies. He's admitting that American citizens are being tortured. Barry Trower, he's a British Navy microwave expert. He's admitting that citizens are being tortured, and people like you, who are psychiatrists, who are unknowing about these technologies, will be hired. And you will be given a mental evaluation of someone. And as soon as they tell you that they're hearing someone talking to them, the first thing is, what do you call someone when they're hearing voices?
What's your psychotic behaviors?
And what would that be considered? What psychotic behavior would that be considered?
Schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia, correct. So, and if they tell you it's the military, your next evaluation would probably be delusion disorder, correct?
Okay.
Correct?
Well, that's part of it. But
okay.
Anyway, I want to ask you, let's get back to you. In terms of in the past, have you been diagnosed with schizophrenia?
Never.
And have you ever been offered psych meds?
Never.
Never in your life?
Never.
Okay. So, and I understand that some of the writings we have here that you're sending some tweets. And let's see. You're sweaty, hungry, homeless, crying, no one cares.
About the atrocity.
Seems like I gotta commit a mass shooting.
That's not mine.
That's you?
That's not me.
That's not you?
No, that's not me.
Who's Tyrone Duke?
Well, that's my Twitter account, but Twitter accounts are able to be hacked just like everything else.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. Not a deal. This is what's going to happen. You're going to come to CPEP with us, which is our psych emergency room, on an involuntary petition. Talk to our psychiatrist, and to make sure you're safe and everybody else is safe.
Actually, you can't do that.
Yes, we can, and we are going to do that.
Let me call my. I can't call anyone?
No. When you make comments like this public, you need to be checked out by a psychiatrist.
I didn't make this comment.
Okay, well, it's in your name.
Everything up until here.
I made this comment.
Everything here up until the last one is what you wrote?
No. I said I made this comment here. I said this comment here. This comment, excuse me, I made this comment. I will not be murdered without giving my best efforts of raising awareness about the atrocity committed against me.
So, gentlemen, we need to get at the CPAP, and I'll write the involuntary petition. Okay? Thank you.
Wait a minute, I can't call anyone about this?
Coming home, tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom away.
President Obama and citizens of the world, we are TIs, targeted individuals, and law-abiding citizens being targeted.
Never deal with all of that.
By all levels of government and outside agencies.
Using military-grade, highly sophisticated,
and harmful technologies designed to destroy our lives for absolutely no reason at all. Support us and end our torture now. Hi, my name's Terry. Mary. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a TI.
I'm Tom. I'm a TI.
I'm Mary, and I'm a TI.
Hi, my name is Julie, and I'm a registered nurse, and I am a TI. Hello, I'm Gloria. I'm a grandmother of 4, an entrepreneur. I'm a TI. Hi, my name is Denise. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a TI. Hi, my name is Karma. I'm a grandmother. I'm a nurse, and I am a TI.
Hi, my name is Franz. I'm a TI.
Hi, my name is Steve. I'm a proud father too, and I am a TI.
We are TIs, targeted individuals. Google us.
I'm coming home, coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
The FBI released gripping silent surveillance video of Aaron Alexis as he drives into the Navy Yard in his rented Prius. The cameras pick him up as he enters the front door of Building 197, ready for a rampage that killed 12 people before he was shot down.
There are indicators that Alexis was prepared to die during the attack and that he accepted death as the inevitable consequence of his actions.
You see him carrying his bag, hidden inside a sawed-off Remington 870, which he removed in the bathroom. Photos released today show the bag he left behind. 22 minutes after he drove in, surveillance picks him up in the hall. He readies his weapon, hunting people. You see him move downstairs and then make his way along another hall as people flee down a connecting hallway. In the 10 days since the shooting, a sharper picture is emerging of what drove Alexis.
There are multiple indicators that Alexis held a delusional belief that he was being controlled or influenced by extremely low frequency, or ELF, electromagnetic waves.
The FBI released photos of his gun with an apparent reference to the magnetic waves carved into the handle. My ELF weapon. On the barrel, the words "Into the torment." And while the investigation into the mental illness that spawned the shooting will continue, agents said they found writings by Alexis that explained in plain language why he said he did it.
A document retrieved from the electronic media stated, quote, "Ultra-low frequency attack is what I've been subject to for the last 3 months. And to be perfectly honest, that is what has driven me to this."
Investigators don't believe he targeted specific people in his 60-minute killing spree. We're told there's more graphic surveillance video than what we saw today, but authorities decided not to release it. Aaron Alexis was a computer technician for a company called The Experts, which was dropped today as a subcontractor by computer manufacturer HP. We reached out to The Experts by phone and email for comment, but they didn't respond. Wolf?
Bath salts is not a term you'd think would strike dread into the hearts of cops nationwide, but it's become the street name for a potent drug that could be available at your local mall or convenience store right next to the vitamin supplements. Not only does it bring an extreme high for some, but it's also been said to cause a phenomenon known as excited delirium, obviously a spectrum.
Dr. Jeffrey Bernstein from Florida Poison Control is an ER doctor at Miami's Jackson Memorial Hospital, and he's seen it firsthand.
In particular, the patients they call the poison center tell me that they are suicidal, that they have negative thoughts that they just can't get rid of. Many of them are hearing voices. 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 And that seems to go on even after they stop the drug.
This may be the next epidemic.
Dr. Deborah Mash is a neuroscientist and one of the nation's leading experts on excited delirium and addiction.
The numbers of adverse events associated with bath salts has increased threefold in the past year.
Cases of excited delirium have shocked national attention since Saturday when Rudy Eugene, 31, was found here in Miami standing naked and chewing another man's face off.
I never thought I would see somebody else eating someone, it was really horrific.
The victim of the attack, a homeless Miami man, lost up to 80% of his face. Police think it may be connected to bath salts. And it has scientists like MASH who've been studying these drugs for a generation genuinely scared.
This raises a new fear level in me, I have to say. This is for me, is almost like a science fiction episode where someone makes a very dangerous molecule and it's released into the public.
That's the biggest fear among the medical community. More than cocaine or even meth, it seems bath salts permanently alter the brain's chemistry.
Sweating, agitation, tremulousness, all the way up to coma, hyperthermia, and death. But what impresses me the most about it are the psychiatric symptoms that people seem to get.
Dickie Sanders' death led the state of Louisiana to impose an emergency ban on the chemicals most commonly used in the so-called bath salts. But there's still no federal ban. The drugs are still being sold in more than a dozen states.
Around the world in the headlines, Rudy Eugene is a zombie. He's a monster. He's a cannibal.
It could be weeks before a toxicology report reveals whether Rudy Eugene was high on bath salts when he attacked his victim. But with bath salts on the rise, law enforcement is bracing for more horror like this. For Nightline, I'm Matt Gutman in Miami.
We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
Behave yourself.
That is the secret to Lumacorp's success. Control the head, and you control the body.
Got it, real. I know he's coming, Drink. White police, no baby call. I don't care for. Please, for. You real for. Crazy. Damn crazy. Whatever. I'll do for you. I do. Got it, real. He's not coming. Bro, please, whatever. Crazy. No baby, you 4 years. I do 4 years. Got it, real. I know got it, real. Pray, God, bro. Why? You're on TV. Please. I do. Everything. Four. Got it, real. You don't have to got it, real. Drink. It was all Drink Vicky. He's not coming too far. He's not lazy.
Relax, Carl.
Guys, whatever. Real four. Guys. I have to eat you. I don't have to eat you. Four. God, eat you. Haitian, Miami, evidence. I don't care. Got you. God. You're real. I'll pray. I'll eat you. Don't make me four. Crazy. Dream. It's outside the dream. It's not playing too far. God. I'm gonna eat you. Four. God. I'll do. Don't make me eat you. Number 4. I'm not. You're not a soldier then. God. I'll eat you. Don't make me eat you. 4. You're not real 4, baby. Look, you know. Dream. Biggie, Dad, Tupac. Don't make me. I love you. 4. You real 4. Alright. I'll do 4 years. God, nah. Dream goes on. He's like, you really love me. Do everything. Pray. Oh, and the Avengers, I love you. I love you. Pray, baby. I'll do whatever. Save your dread. I'm not. You don't have to. You can watch the game.
This harassment is called a campaign against the T.I. A campaign against the T.I. A campaign against the T.I. A campaign against the T.I.
Young Buck. He's snitching, folks. Oh yeah, in my opinion, he's snitching. Now you know I got the campaign.
A campaign against the T.I.
What does a kid go to school? I got $500 for that information.
I'll come for your kids. I will come for your kids.
Where does a kid go to school? 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 I got $500 for that information. I got $500 for that information. I got $500 for that information.
I'll come for your kids. I will come for your kids.
kids. What does a kid go to school? I got $500 for that information. I'll come for your kids. I will come for your kids. Man, I finally got the information on this slant-eyed wife. You didn't hear me. I said I would like to do it on Kelly. On your seed. On your little baby girl.
Well, you don't know the unintended consequences of
Slang, hood talk, which is the umbrella that it goes under. There are a lot of things, and a lot of people who I have never even mentioned were attacked or addressed. A lot of things, and a lot of people who I have never even mentioned were attacked. There are a lot of things, and a lot of people who I have never even mentioned were attacked.
The process of harassment is called a campaign against the TI. A campaign against the TI. A campaign against the TI. A campaign against the TI.
There are a lot of things, and a lot of people who I have never even mentioned were attacked. A lot of people who I have never even mentioned were attacked. A lot of people who I have never even mentioned were attacked or addressed.
The process of harassment is called a campaign against the TI. A campaign against the TI. A campaign against the TI. A campaign against the TI.
Dark but wild. Young Buck. He's snitching, folks. Oh yeah, in my opinion, he's snitching. Now you know I got the campaign. Now you know I got the campaign. Now you know I got the campaign. Now you know I got the campaign.
A campaign against the TI.
Now you know I got the campaign. And let's be clear on something. My campaign, the show that I've been working on, it's about reckless shootings. I don't care who's pumping drugs on the Ave. I really don't. I don't give a fuck who's curb swerving, hugging the block. I don't care who's got cracks in your butt cheeks, trying to feed your daughter, like Biggie used to say. I don't care about none of that. But now, Young Buck, his type of snitching, in my opinion, I don't have any facts here. He's going to jail for 2 months, as he says. Let me just read the information to you here. I gotta go to the penitentiary for 2 months, Young Buck said. Fuck with me for real. Hold me down. And when I get out of the penitentiary, all you rap niggas better get the fuck out of the way. I ain't even gonna say no names, but it's a good thing I'm about to go to the penitentiary. You see, that's the bullshit, folks. He had an indictment on unspecified charges relating to firearms. And he's down there in the South, down there below the Mason, what do you call it, Mason-Dixon. Yeah, he didn't reveal how long he'll be in prison. The Young Buck, whose real name is David Brown, was facing a 10-year bid last year after being indicted on gun possession charges, a raid at his home. The nigga snitching, folks, yes. He's on that TI shit. Facing a decade, and all of a sudden you're doing a couple of months. Nigga, you're talking. You're pointing niggas out on paper. Fuck with me, hold me down. Fuck out of here. Yeah, sometimes I just spaz. I'm sitting here sipping on a Dr. Pepper, and I put up a tweet. Check this out. Facing 10 years on gun charges and only serving 2 months. Congrats to @Young Buck for fighting crime. @Start Snitching. Now, will he see that? Who knows? Who gives a shit? I'm not really friends with anybody in the industry. I'm cool with people, and they're cool with me, based upon mutual respect for what it is that they do and what it is that I do. But the same rules apply. Friend to none of you. And when I grind this microphone, I'm only concerned about the listeners. If the nigga's snitching, that might be a good thing. Taking guns off the streets, assault weapons. As I've said, the kids are riding around with rockets, folks. Blowing people's backs out. Peeling niggas' caps. Niggas sitting around getting big off the pig. Yeah. Eating pork fried rice and chicken wings. And niggas said, oh shit, I can't do no decade. My career will be finished. Okay, I'll tell you where the guns are. That's how this shit works, folks. I'm not on no gossip shit. I go in hard body karate. And here it is right now. 1 minute ago, the real Young Buck is following me on Twitter. That's right, watch me closely, my nigga. Watch me closely, because I'm following you. And I'm asking you the question this morning, my nigga. How'd you beat that 10-year prison stretch? Are you snitching, my nigga? Holla at me. We're following each other now. You can send me a DM. I'm not on no sucker shit.
Get you on the horn here, you can chop it up with me. Talk to your people, find out what Star's doing. You know what Star does, my nigga. He goes in raw with no condom. Not to my knowledge, because I'm a man of a certain age. You got 2 months in the county lockup, not the penitentiary. If you got a year or more, then you go to the big house. You snitching, nigga? Talk to us. I'm on that snitch shit.
Star, but wild. Yes, there's nothing like years of bitter disappointment and betrayal to turn even the softest heart to stone. Once life has stolen your last shreds of childlike innocence, a malignant lust for revenge will blossom inside your soul. By that time, nanotechnology should be taking the world by storm, revolutionizing everything from medicine to the way we clean up the environment. Watch as swarms of tiny nanobots released into this cloud of smoke work to convert harmful carcinogens into useful material.
Right, so we have a tree here. Not a very good looking tree. All the bark's falling off. All on the left hand side. Look on the left hand side of that tree. Look on the right hand side. That's alright. Yeah. Right, well look at the right hand side of the tree. Look at the flap. Look at the bushes. Look at the green bushes. Yeah. Very nice. Look at the left hand side. Dead. Do you know why? Because that's right next to it. Look at this. Have you seen anything like that in your life? It's got a light right there. The transmitter on the top. Now how's that? Explain that. The right hand side of the tree that's not next to the transmitter, the growing away from it, is okay. I mean, look at this, look how shocking. Look at all the bark falling off. All dead, totally dead. Far too close to the light. Look at the bark. All on the left hand side, look. Look how close it is to the light. These 5G transmitters are lethal. If that's what it's doing to a tree, right next to a tree, think about what these are doing to our health.
Yum, the future looks delicious. Now, get off your lazy ass, cause it's time to be amazing. Step 3, infiltrate a nanorobotics facility.
This is my work ID. I work for Well Cornell Medicine on 68th in York. I do comparative pathology research. We deal with biohazardous materials and radiation particles. We inject animals like rhesus monkeys, rats, and mice with diseases and radioactive agents. 2 weeks ago, when I went to work, I noticed the security guards were in tie-dye hazmat suits and they were armed, which is not normal. But I didn't pay it any mind. I go upstairs to work, I clock in. My boss is like, yo, listen, you're not needed, but we need you to surrender your Geiger counter. My Geiger counter was attached to my ID because we deal with radiation emissions in my department on the 7th floor, which is the only department that deals with radiation. But they wanted me to surrender my Geiger counter. When I left work, the only people that were left in my building's facility were the scientists, the professors, the researchers, and security guards that were armed. It's not the virus that's getting people sick. It's 5G network from the radiation. And the reason why they have me surrender my Geiger counter is so if I'm in a proximity of people that have 5G networks, my Geiger counter is going to detect that I'm in a proximity of radiation. That's what's getting people sick. That's what's getting people with respiratory issues. That's why some people are dying.
Once inside, get your hands on a nanobot that's capable of replicating itself. Because it takes so many of these microscopic machines to do large-scale work, self-replicating nanobots will be pretty common in laboratories. As a critical safety precaution, however, most nanobots will replicate using only the rarest elements. Luckily, transforming a nanobot into a monster with an insatiable appetite for destruction is easy. Just change its diet. Rather than replicating using the rarest materials, program the nanobot to use the commonest.
What do you like, Carmen, with that?
5G 5th generation technology promises faster download speeds and conveniences that most of us have never dreamed of, but will also be blanketed with a new type of radiation called millimeter waves. Health experts are warning about the rising risks with a 5G rollout.
It's not been made clear to the public that 5G won't just be another number and letter on your cell phone. It requires an entirely new infrastructure of thousands of small cellular antennas to be erected throughout cities where it's going to be installed.
What would 5G infrastructure look like? Small cell antennas could be placed as close as every third hydro pole. Scientists from 42 countries are now warning their governments about the emerging health problems associated with wireless radiation, and Canadian doctors and scientists have added their voices.
Join us this afternoon.
The most prevalent symptoms include headache, fatigue, decreased ability to concentrate, tinnitus, irritability, and insomnia. Impacts on the heart and the nervous system are also of great concern.
Dr. Rena Bray has been working at the Provincial Environmental Health Clinic for 15 years and seen the number of people suffering adverse effects from electromagnetic exposure rising.
We are concerned that the upcoming introduction of 5G will significantly increase the proximity and extent of exposure to microwave radiation in Ontarians. We predict that the number of people who develop the symptoms I just mentioned will rise in the places where 5G is first installed.
Dr. Magda Havas is internationally recognized for her research on the biological effects of electromagnetic pollution. She said that at high intensities, these waves cause intense heat and pain because sweat glands on the surface of our skin act like mini antennas.
At lower frequencies, scientists are predicting damage to eyes, loss of insect populations which are already declining, antibiotic resistance in bacteria, and physiological effects on the nervous system and on the immune system.
Radiation from radio frequencies is classed in the same category of carcinogens as lead. One advisor to the World Health Organization said there's enough evidence that if they were to re-evaluate radio frequency radiation,
it would be placed in class 1, i.e. a human carcinogen, and governments could not possibly ignore that.
Some say the scientific debate about the health effects of microwave radiation is over, but the question remains, can we afford to take this risk? Medical doctors are requesting delayed deployment until testing can be conducted on the long-term biological effects of 5G technology.
5G is game over. It's frying us. So it's just like in Wuhan when that's the first place they really rolled out 5G. Exactly. And I believe the FDA takes a year and a half to approve of a vaccine. Why within 3 months of the year, all of a sudden they have this vaccination ready to be mandated, forced on you, whether you say yes or no?
With sweet victory close at hand, it's time to indulge in a little maniacal cackling. Don't be shy now. This is the fun part. Maniacally, I said. Maniacally! Great. Now all you've got to do is kick back and watch as your dastardly plan takes shape. Let's say your tiny new robot can only replicate itself once every 15 minutes. Sounds like it'll take forever to destroy the world, right? Think again. Exponential growth is the evil genius's best friend. In just 10 hours, your single nanobot will become a swarm of more than 68 billion.
Consider your help.
In less than a day, they'll weigh a ton. Your ton of nanos could weigh as much as the Earth itself, which by that time will be blanketed by an incalculably vast army of invisibly small robots.
The coronavirus, we have it very well under control. 5. This is the new hoax. Typically that will go away in April. We're in great shape. One day it's like a miracle, it will disappear, and the risk to the American people remains very low.
Well, you may be nano food, but you can take solace in the fact that chances are your evil plan will live on long after you're gone. Now that's amazing.